Hello everybody, it is Nicole from iiKiui. Welcome back to my elemental series. This is probably my most highly requested video, and it's definitely been some time since I recorded the last one, almost a year. Either way, I hope you'll continue to enjoy the elemental series, and I'll continue to do it from now on. So let's not waste any time and hop right into the speed paint. If you recognize this setup, then you've probably been here for a long time. When I filmed this video, I was down in California with my family, so I had my trusty fold-out table as my background. As always with my elemental series, I won't be recording the sketching process because it just takes a lot of time and I get really close to the page, so you probably wouldn't even see most of the drawing. Don't worry though, I do plan to post other videos that show the entire process, so I hope you'll look forward to those. Now that that's out of the way, let's finally get into the actual drawing. In the original, I played with the idea of a time traveler, with her hair being both day and night. On that video, I got a comment saying that it would be interesting if the character was old or was a different age than young adult. I took that into account and decided that time represented a lot of things, whether it be age, time of day, or the time on the clock. I wanted to represent all of these in this drawing, so I divided the page into 4 sections. When choosing the stages of life, I had to limit it to 4, so I chose a baby, a child, an adult, and an elder. I know there's a lot of time between them, but I figured these were pretty significant, and if I had another section, I probably would have included a teen or a young adult. Behind each character, I had a time of day. I took inspiration from stained glass, but whether or not it looks like this is another question. For the time of day, I chose dawn for the baby, noon for the child, dusk for the adult, and evening for the elder. I also wanted to challenge myself to draw other characters that weren't young adults. I used a lot of reference for the baby and elder because those are very unfamiliar territories for me. Overall, I think I was able to draw them distinguishable enough to tell their general ages. In the center, I drew a bunch of clocks, each with different times on them. As you can tell, I'm not very creative when it comes to clock designs. I decided to use markers for this elemental as opposed to watercolors, because after I reviewed the Spectrum Noir markers, I really enjoyed the process and using markers, so I wanted to improve my skills and use them more often. In this drawing, I used Copic's, Arteza, and Spectrum Noir markers, and I will have a list of all the materials in the description. Prior to the actual coloring, I did do a digital color comp where I decided the colors. For the time of day, I used reference to figure out which colors to use. Sunrise consisted more of yellow and orange, whereas sunset was more red and deeper orange. Noon was challenging because I did not have a good light blue, and the one that I did have was drying out. Luckily, I was able to get it done without losing a marker. As for evening, that one was pretty self-explanatory, but it did help me decide to include simplified mountains in the background to make the evening feel like night. One thing I always forget is that when it's night, the sky actually isn't the darkest thing. It's the silhouettes of the things in front that are dark. Her hair color was decided based on what didn't clash with everything else, and their outfit colors were chosen based on the main colors of the other times, as long as it didn't clash with the time of day behind them. I initially outlined everything with the same pen size, but after completing it, I felt like it was missing something, so I took my brush pen and did a thicker outline over the characters and around the entire rectangle. This really helped the characters pop from their backgrounds compared to before. As with all my other new elementals, I added in some gold. I used a gold pen instead because I didn't have the paint I normally use, and I had a tough time deciding where I wanted to include the gold in fear of adding too much. I ended up adding it around the rims of the clocks on the center along with the ones on the characters. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the outcome of this elemental. I feel like it represents time more than my previous one, and if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll leave a link in the description as well as in the eye. I'm going to continue redoing the ones I've previously done, and then I'll finally be able to start on some new elementals. I only have the element of giving and the element of love left, and I have a huge list of suggestions from you guys. When the other videos go out, I'll do a poll to decide the next video. I hope you all enjoyed the new elemental video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified of when the new one comes out. And if you want me to do more elemental videos, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know what else you want to see. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Keep drawing, keep creating, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!